The Men's Progressive Workers' Government. The man is always Reich. Proudly presents. Government structure. Our primary goal is one that is simple and unified. To purge all government and media positions of women and MANJINAS. In our global efforts to exterminate MANJINAS, the complications of setting up new governmental systems is too large and a specific task for our government to accomplish. Since the type of governments vary and we wish to concentrate our efforts on one goal, we will not change the government structure themselves, except for those concerning men's authority. An effort to change the government structure should be done by a separate group, as we are for the sole and single purpose of restoring men's authority. This means that in governments where a monarchy is in place, we will leave it in place. In governments where democracy is in place, we will leave it in place. In governments where socialism is in place, we will leave it in place. In governments where capitalism is in place, we will leave it in place, and so on. To convince each separate governments to change its underlying structure would add unnecessary complications and distractions from our core issue. Hence, any government or organization that has fully restored men's rights will be sanctioned by our government. Any other government or organization that goes against men's will be considered a criminal organization. Since only men have a justice-based morality, only they are fit to administer justice in any government. A government cannot have a care-based morality. This morality is only useful for nurturing children and babies, a task the women excel at, but a type of morality which the enemies of the state, MANJINAS, exploit for their own benefit. Limiting our purging of governments to only women and MANJINAS will reduce resistance to our cause. Since the male politicians who support us would not only still have their posts, but they would gain more power from the purging of their political rivals. Incentives for female politicians is covered elsewhere. The feasibility of the restoration of our government is simple, since its centralization of power makes it easy prey for us, who are all the men suffering from gynocentrism. These efforts can start locally, by taking back city councils and so on, state level by taking over state courts and legislators, or nationally by taking over the White House, or globally by taking over UN embassies.